Hello and welcome to another episode of Cyrils Brettspiele. My name is Nils and today we are having a very interesting unboxing video for the game The Colonists from Mayfair Games. Yeah, The Colonists is a really heavy box and therefore I will do one of my extremely rare unboxing videos just to show you what is inside the box. So let's lift up the lid first of all, and then you can see a stack of cards here. These are the so-called colony cards. I will show it to you here right now. So these are colony cards from the other side marked with this colony symbol, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 colony cards in this game. Why different colonies? So first of all, the game is called The Colonists, so therefore you need colonies in this game. However, the other aspect of this is simply, you have a little bit of variant in it. So you start the game with 4 colonies and then you have 9 to pick 4 out of them, either randomly or just if the group agrees on one specific colony. So let's take a look what is else in the box. So then you have a lot of wooden pieces. Let's take a closer look to this. I will put that to the side for a second, and now let's go to this one here. Oh, take a look at all this wood here. So I put the bag to the side. By the way, there's a lot of other bags in it here, Ziploc bags. I don't really know if you really need it. I come to that later on. Each color has its own 4 meeples, pawns, so where you move around, you have orange here, you also have black here as a next color, boop, 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 and boop. Then you have blue as another color here, boom, blue, and last but not least, white. These are the 4 different colors you can play in Colonists, and that's the pawns you use. This is a marker. I explained this yellow marker, this yellow cylinder, a little bit later. And then you have a lot of farmers here. Green meeples are simply farmers. Then you have yellow meeples. All of these are workers. So the yellow meeples are the advanced workers, and the best workers are red. So and you start out the game with these farmers, and then later on in a later era you add these yellow ones into it, or you transfer the green into yellow ones, and last but not least the red ones will replace the yellow ones, or at least add onto it. You have another pawns here. These are these 3 pawns here. They are coming with specific of these colonies here. So for 3 different colonies you have this 3 different ones, but this is all the wood you have. Next one is cards. By the way, I will explain a little bit later on how you really get this green ones and yellow ones on the table, but not now. So now we unpack this cards here, and first of all, these are helper scoring cards. Later on in the game, in era 3 or 4, and maybe I should explain it right now. So the game will be played over 4 different eras, and that's one of the specifics of the game, The Colonists. The Colonists is a game, and a lot of people compare that to Anno, the PC game, where you start off on a little island and getting bigger and getting bigger. First of all, you have basic resources, then you have advanced resources or refined resources, and going on from there. This is a little bit like Colonists. So, and in era 1, you start out with the basic, with all the farmers here, and you go on from the basics to the advanced versions. Later on, when you have a lot of workers in play, you probably need these resource markers to calculate if they need food or not, and how much food you are actually produce. This one here is simply the card to mark the 5 different turns per game. 1 spring and 1 fall season here per era. So you have in each single era 5 different years. You start out with a new market card with 3 new tiles. That's what you see here. And then you have spring and fall, back and forth, back and forth. That's this card here. Yeah, I wanted to clean up a little bit here, and then I'm back in a second. So, as promised, I take a little bag here, a cloth bag, to put all of these farmers. The yellow ones, by the way, are citizens, and the red ones are merchants, here into this bag, just to clean up a little bit on the table and go from there. So, I take also the pawns, put all of them here in this cloth bag. The only thing that I leave on here is this wooden yellow marker, and you will see in a second why. So all the wood goes back here, boom, out of the side. So back to this yellow wooden marker here, you simply mark where you are on. You see this round shape here, you mark where you are in spring, fall of the first, second, third, fourth and fifth year. What else do we have? We have tons of cards, and let's take a look at the cards for a second. So let's start with these cards here. As you maybe mentioned, these cards have different symbols on it here. In this case, a 4 for era 4, and they have yellow backgrounds. So, but you also have cards with 3 on it here, an era 3 background, and so on. And you have these cards here, and they have era symbols on as well. In this case, era 4. So these cards are, yeah, a little bit of driving the game. So these yellow cards here, they are market cards. Each time you're going to a market, I explain what a market is. Later on, you see special actions on here, actions that are available in market areas. They are randomly, there are 7 cards per era. However, per era you're only playing 5 years, so you use 5 out of 7 every year, and you have a little bit of variant what you use. The brown cards on the other side, they are improvement cards. Each person gets these improvement cards, or even not, during some specific actions, and then you can use these improvements for either one-time shots or ongoing effects. This, for an example, is a cloth maker. He is making cloth every single round. This is an ongoing effect, and let me double check if I can find a one-shot. Yeah, that's not easy when you're looking for a specific one-shot, but let's try if I can find a one-shot somewhere here. No, I cannot. Maybe they are sorted for one-shots and ongoing effect. Here, this, for an example, is a one-shot. Indicated here is a little lightning ball, and this one would give you, for an example, 2 planks that you can use for buildings. So these are the cards in here, and as you can see, brown or yellow backgrounds. That's how you see the differences. Then you have a couple of explanation cards. These cards are telling you era 1, 2, 3 and 4, what you have to do in these eras, and also what do you have to do when you start a new era. And they have here on the back side scoring helpers as well. That's another deck of cards. But wait, there's more. We have another pack of cards, and what a surprise, you have another innovation cards here, completely innovations for the other eras. If there are more inside the box, well, the box is big, as you can see, and I will clean up that. I will make a cut and clean up that, and then going back to the box. So as you can see, the table is clean back again, and I will bring you the box back in. You have a scoring pad here for the game, pretty straightforward. We know that from other games as well. And then you have all this punch boards here. Take a look how thick these punch boards are. But this is just one. You have another punch board piece, and a third one as well. So when you take a look at the punch boards, boom, that's it. Let's count the punch boards just for a second to see how many punch board pages you will get. This is plastic, this is a little bit heavier. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And here you see tools on it. Coins. Coins are simply victory points, tools you need to build, and these are resource tokens. What did I say? 4. So we have another stack of punch board tokens here, another plastic, and this plastic you cannot even rip it off. Dang, I need a second. Alright, 5. Now you have some buildings here. These are buildings or storehouses, warehouses. These are little tiny buildings. These are marketplaces. 6, 7, 8 with this. You have 4 player boards. These are individual player boards. So each player builds his own village. You have that double-sided. This side is the advanced side. This is the basic side. But the basic side you technically never use. What was my number? 5, 6, 7, 8 so far. And wait, you have one more. 9. Tons of buildings. 10. Tons of buildings, and these are your structure. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 of these punch boards. Okay, now I will punch out all of that for you. So I zoom on a little bit, sit down here and punch out all of that and make that with fast forward. Is that a deal? Okay, let's do it. But before I punch out the punch boards, I just wanted to show you what's else in the box. And this is just simply 1, 2, 3 rule books. One is an appendix to explain you all the colonies and all the specific tiles and cards. One is a scenario, a beginner scenario, introduction scenario, so you can play that page by page. You build that on the table or even just read it. That's also, and step by step you learn the game. And the last one is still the rulebook, and the rulebook has, let me double check, 24 pages. So it's for a game like this, a very epic and huge game, not horrible, but I mean, it's a significant number of rulebook pages. Yeah, that's true. Now I wanted to say, let's do fast forward after we saw all the tiles and all the rulebooks. So now I'm punching out the city tile, the buildings you can build, and also the colony tiles. These are the little 6-sided hexes here. So with that you build your complete colony out. So that is the last of this one here so far. So after that we are going over to the next section, which is storage. As you can see here, storage is really important in your colony. And this is already the resource board, so you can see the different resources here. I put all of the different resources directly into my little box here. Also there are coins on it and tools. Tools are ready to build some buildings, and coins are simply victory points, nothing else than victory points. A lot of these punch boards for resources, because you need a lot of resources with a full swing of 4 players. All the stuff, and now I have to sort all of that. For sorting that, I took one of these plastic boxes here, as I mentioned during punching out, and I sorted a couple of that just by colors and things like that. But now I wanted to sort all of that for you, and then I'm back with another video just when you see everything is done. After I purpled everything out of the cardboard sheets, I wanted to show you something. So first of all, even if I put everything in here, you see here is a little bit of a gap. So it's so full that the box doesn't really fit. And now let's lit up the box and take a look one more time inside the player boards. And here you can see in Ziploc bags, and also the cards and all of that in Ziploc bags. And then also I use this plastic boxes here as described, and as you can see there is so much stuff in, and even more Ziploc bags. And now I wanted to give you, last but not least, a couple of more close-ups from what is really on these little housings, on these little buildings and things like that. And then the episode is over after this. As promised, here are a couple of close-ups. So this is the personal player board, and you have here a little bit of a reference. Here income, here is your building area, and here are so-called storage areas. And let's start with the storage areas. You build these storage buildings here, double-sided, 3 spots and 2 spots, and you build them here, and then you build some buildings here. This, for an example, is the storekeeper embassy, and the storekeeper embassy comes from these cards here. This is a storekeeper colony that allows you to build the storekeeper embassy. Later on we will see more of these houses, but now take a look at the city. The city will be built out of these hexes here, and here I will show you 3 examples here. That's 2 of the same. Here are builders, like this one here, that allows you to build for tools, for wood and for stone, a farm into an estate with this builder. And here you simply get, when you are here in the grove, 2 wood, things like that. This, for an example, allows you to transform a farm into a flat for 1 tool and 1 finished wood. The cards, again with this arrow symbol here, and either they have a description here so you know what's going on in the area, or you have this one here, which is a market card. On top of you see option 1 or option 2 and option 3. It's always a builder. He is always making victory points. Money is victory points, and here you have resources that you can get for free. And last but not least, no, not last but not least, here are some of these cards, these action cards I told you. So this, for an example, gives you a permanent of this citizens here. So what else do we have? We have the card that shows you how the game flows. Each turn you flip over a market card, build in 3 ones, and then you have spring and fall, spring and fall, spring and fall, up to 5 times. And now let's take a last look here into my boxes. These are the farmers here. These are the meeples to walk around. These are the buildings, for an example. Here you have this house. In this house there are merchants living. Red is the indicator for merchant. Here are victory points printed on it that says Era 3, and this is the community hall that allows you to have 2 of these. I wanted to show you the farm one more time, just to give you some impressions here what you can have here. This is a farm. There lives 1 farmer, and on the other side is the estate with 3 farmers. And I wanted to show you 1 production building, maybe here, that gives you, as the iron mine, 2 iron as an income. This is a symbol for ongoing income. Yeah, and the last box we can take a look at is this one here, and then we see the resources here, which is here, for an example, clay, here is stones, here is food, and here are the money, here are the tools, and these are additional storage areas. Yeah, that was my unboxing of the Colonists. Technically it was a little bit of more, just simply unboxing. I showed you the components, I explained a little bit to the components. That was Cyrils Brettspiele. My name is Nils, and this was unboxing of the Colonists from Mayfair Games. See you next time. Bye bye.